Hi, this is Laya Gavin with Team Exit Realty Sun City, and I am the licensed broker and hiring manager for Team Exit Realty Sun City, part of the Exit Realty Place office. And I've got a couple of guests with me here today that I wanted to have join us to just share some information about what's happening in this new world that we're working in right now, and still trying to take care of business, take care of clients, close transactions, and just, keep everybody on track with what their dreams and goals are, but still being safe and being mindful of how business is changing right now. So my guests today are a double dynamite team from Fairway Mortgage. I've got Don Buxton and Craig Gallegos from Fairway Mortgage, and they work together to help clients close transactions and finance and refinance properties. So Don and Craig, first of all, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank
We're
you.
really excited to be here, and this is a great way to start getting information out to people so that they're not just afraid of this fantastic market that we're still in.
Exactly. And I wanted you guys to share, because I wanted to have people have an understanding that business is still taking place, even though the 24-hour news cycle is sharing information in a way that has a lot of people panicked to leave their home. But you go out and people are doing more than just stocking up on toilet paper. People are still buying homes, aren't they?
Absolutely. And it's a fantastic time to buy, because even with some of the news that you're hearing regarding rates are still down from where they were a year ago. So you've got buyers that have more buying power because of those lower rates. So it's a great time to buy.
Okay, fantastic. So let's start with the conversation about, how you were doing business 2 weeks ago compared to how that's changed to today, which is today's Wednesday, March 18th, right? So just the day after St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
So how has things changed for you as far as how you're working with clients and taking care of business?
So I think the biggest change that Craig and I have experienced is that we traditionally meet our borrowers face to face before the closing table. We meet either at application or at some time just to get together to answer questions. And that's something that the two of us have prided ourselves on for doing business that way for years. And now we are changing that a little bit. We are doing more Zoom meetings. We have moved from working in our office now to working at our home office, but still do lots of telephone calls, lots of Zoom meetings. We do some great total cost analysis for our clients so that they're completely informed before they even start looking for a home, so that they know what to expect on the financing side. I think that's one of our biggest changes.
Yeah, and I think we've relied more upon the technologies that we have available. We have a wonderful phone app called Fairway Now, where whereas before we might have people bring in their documentation and we would either scan them or get them into our system like that. But now they are utilizing Fairway Now, this phone app, a lot more, simply because they don't need to go out into the public. They can scan and send in their documents completely secure. It's all 128-bit encrypted and all that. So that way they feel safe, and we can still move along in the process. And it's still it's just as fast, if not faster, than meeting face to face in that aspect.
Excellent. So for a buyer who was getting qualified to purchase and making offers on properties, that timeline, has that dramatically changed in the last couple of weeks, or is that about the same?
It's about the same.
Yeah.
We are still pushing our purchase business through from start to finish in about 30 days.
Okay.
That's a buyer that's well qualified up front. We do a really clean application, make sure that when we send you and your buyer out looking for homes, that that if you make an offer, we're going to be able to close that loan. You're not going to get a surprise a couple weeks down the road. And then we're closing still in 30 days or less.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, that's a great part. Now, we have had some feedback that the appraisal process may start to take a little more time. We've had a couple of scenarios. We haven't had them personally, but our company has, where appraisers have decided maybe they don't want to go into an area. So we are encouraging agents, the minute they make an offer, to make sure that we don't delay on that appraisal. We want to order that as quickly as we can.
Yeah, we read that there was an appraiser who just, it had to be reassigned because he didn't want to go into a property, or he or she didn't want to go into that property for the actual inspection. So they had to get a different appraiser to go out there. So that obviously will take a little bit of extra time as well.
Gotcha.
We haven't had it happen, but we will always want to be prepared beforehand.
Yeah, and like I said, this is a changing environment for us on all sides of the whole real estate transaction.
Yes.
I was just in a call yesterday with some of my my folks with the association for we serve the West and Southeast Association for Realtors of the Valley, and they were talking about different things that are coming up in the middle of contracts now, because you know, it used to just be, you've got your 10-day inspection period and you can line up, you know, who you need to have come in, and you can, you know, have that timetable and know that that's a reasonable time. But now if you can't find an inspector in that 10-day window or some of the other calendar days that counts on the contract, and it's related to all of this, how do you protect your buyer and seller to keep that transaction going without it, you know, being a problem? So there's going to have to be some changes in the language that we use. Yes. In our contracts, and understanding that this is different for all of us.
And maybe some flexibility.
Absolutely.
On everybody's part, right? While we try to, there's still so much business, and there's so much business to keep us all going, that we might have to work as teams even a little closer these days.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, my next question is surrounding the refinance business. I know I've heard that lately, and you can tell me exactly how much, lately there's been a significant uptick in the amount of refinances. And so for somebody who says, you know what, I'm not trying to buy a new house, I've been in the house that I'm in for years and I like it, and the family's not moving anytime soon, what should they be paying attention to right now in this current market?
First of all, they should get started. They should reach out and talk to somebody right away, because the backlog for refinances right now, and I'm going to let Craig tell you a little bit about numbers, but for anyone who's thinking about it, that they have a rate that they got a year. So if they have a rate that's above 4.5 right now, they should at least reach out and talk to somebody, get a total cost analysis, compare what is the current rate is compared to their existing rate, see if there are savings options as a rate and term, see if there's a savings option not only on the mortgage, but is there a way for us to do some debt consolidation for them right now to reduce their total monthly outlay, not just the mortgage? Get started on that, figure out what that looks like. And if that savings is something right now that is good for them, they should move forward. We've had a number of borrowers who started the process, didn't lock, looked at the Fed rate drop last Sunday as my rate's going to go to 0. Which they're not, and wouldn't lock, and now find that rate dramatically different than what it was. So
overnight, it went up basically over a point, 3/4 of a point to a point higher than where they were on Friday and Monday. And Tuesday, a week ago, they were right up. Yeah.
So we're telling people
because of sheer volume.
Yeah. Well, that's not necessarily from volume. That's from the Fed doing everything that they can to protect our economy right now, but us as consumers not completely understanding what those actions that the Fed takes really have on us as a market. And the market's extremely volatile right now, but rates are still down. So anybody that's looking to try to reduce their payment, or another big thing, to get rid of mortgage insurance, because we've had such great appreciation in the Valley. We need to have that conversation. Don't wait. Don't wait because you think rates are going to go to 0. They're not going to go to 0.
No.
So talk to somebody now and try to take advantage of those savings today when it might be very helpful. And I'm going to let Craig tell you just a little bit about the capacity issue.
Yeah, and that's really why, that part of the reason the rates went up is because, you know, as a whole, there's about $11 trillion in mortgage debt in the United States right now. If you look at all the houses out there, and on a typical year, mortgage companies do between 1.75 to $2 trillion, whether it be refinances or purchases, things like that. So when rates started falling because of COVID-19 and, you know, people were scared, the rates came down and we had such an influx of applications that they kind of had to just say, whoa, we need to back off a little bit because you can't refinance $5 trillion of mortgage debt in 1 month, you know, when we do that, you know, in 2 years. So we just kind of had to slow things down. Because,
as an industry,
yeah, as an
not
industry,
as a company, as an industry.
Every single mortgage company out there said, we don't have the warehouse lines, we don't have the money or the capacity as far as personnel goes to get all this done right now. So that's why I think it's really smart what Dawn had said about just get started. And once things do slow down a little bit as far as that goes, we can be in a position to move forward right away.
But if savings is there and you can save money right now, there's no reason not to do it right now either.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And the other question I've got for you, there's different types of purchasing happening right now. Like we mentioned, people are not stopping. They're just doing it differently, right? Yes. So talk to me about what's available for the senior buyer who may be relocating here from another part of the country or maybe selling a current home but wants to buy their next one. What kind of creative options do we have?
That's an awesome and excellent question right now.
Well, one thing that we've seen, we've been doing a lot of home equity conversion mortgages, which on the street is known as a reverse. It's a great tool for seniors to purchase a home that they might not be able to. Let's just say if you have someone who's up in Minnesota, they sell their home, they want to move to our lovely valley here, and they're going to clear $200,000 for what they sold. Now, it's really hard, and you know this better than we do. It's hard to find a great home right now for the $200,000 area, and you're going to be going against a lot of other purchasers, you know, buyers.
Right.
You know, there's going to be a lot of demand for that. So, you know, multiple offer situations. So what if there was a way where they could purchase a home for $300,000 or $350,000, depending on their age, or even $400,000 and never have a mortgage payment moving forward using just that $200,000. So it's a wonderful tool. If you haven't heard about it, if you have buyers that haven't heard about that, we have tons of information that can help them make that decision, because right now with rates where they are, prices where they are, it's a great tool. It's a great tool.
Right.
And especially think about this. What some people might think is, I have that $200,000 I sold my house for, but I really want this $300,000. I'm going to pull my money from my 401k or my retirement. Right. Gosh, look what's happened to the markets in the last just 2 weeks.
Sure.
They shouldn't pull it out right now. You know, and again, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a CPA, but I would think that if you leave that money there, it's got a better chance to grow than if you pull it out, it has no chance to grow. So it's a great tool, and it should be looked at for anyone over 62.
They've made 20 years ago, the reverse mortgages got such a bad reputation, and I think that still sticks with a lot of people today. But they have made dramatic changes, dramatic improvements to protect our seniors as we move into retirement. And there's a lot of buyers out there who are going to move into retirement that won't have enough Social Security to pay for a home, make a house payment, and do anything else.
Right.
So we're using the reverse mortgage, the HECM that Craig talked about, as a way to help our seniors have those years truly be golden years, where they don't have to worry about a house payment, that it's covered through their HECM mortgage, and they can still go do some other things when we're allowed to.
I'm not sure about you, but I know I would much rather have $1,500 or $2,000 a month to do whatever I want versus writing that check to the mortgage company.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So we'll do these Zoom meetings. We'll do them with you, with clients, with their financial advisors. We'll answer questions. Craig is completely certified in the reverse mortgage process. We have a full division that does nothing but reverse. And Fairway is working really, really hard to help our seniors retire better.
Our whole goal is to change the way retirement's done in America.
Yeah.
With those. So that's a great question. I hope we answered it.
Oh, you did. And you answered more, because I was thinking that there's been such a stigma about, reverse mortgages, because years ago, people were getting all these things done, and then it was like the gotcha. Once they were in there, then they found out the pieces behind it. But like you said, I know so much has changed in the recent years to fix that, to help protect seniors. So I'm glad you brought that up. And I think my follow-up question on that would be, can they use that whether it's a resale property or a new build, or is that strictly?
Absolutely.
Either one.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I got people I need you to talk to. The wheels are turning right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's such a good program and such a great way to help our seniors. Craig just gave one to my mom. So now hers wasn't a purchase, hers is a refinance, but it's just a great financial tool to help our seniors in retirement.
Yeah.
We're going to do one.
Yeah.
When we turn 62, we're going to do one. So,
in 30 years, when I turn 62, then I can get one as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I'm getting distracted because I'm thinking of people I need you to talk to. But, before I start thinking of my folks, what I want you to do is just, how can someone who just says, you know what, some of the things that you said kind of piqued my interest. I've got some questions I need more information on, and I'd like to talk to you directly. How can they reach you?
They can call us directly, or they can reach out to you, and we can do a Zoom call, we can do a conference call, we can just do FaceTime, whatever works. If you have somebody that you want to just forward to us, we're happy just to talk to them at their convenience. We work kind of odd hours. Craig and I both answer our phones until 9 o'clock, because it's not always easy for people if they do have some type of work during the day. We want to make sure that we're available on their schedule.
Yeah, and you can always email teamcd@fairwaymc.com, teamcd, like Craig Don, @fairwaymc, or we have a toll free as well. It's 855-4APPLY-4. So 855-427-7594 is the easiest, is the number to get either of us. But we would love to, if we could do a Zoom call with you and your buyers, that would be great too. So
fantastic. Okay. And I'll put your contact information on the video, because I want people to get help as quickly as they can, get their questions answered while it's on their mind.
Right.
So I'm good with that.
Okay. We're happy to help them too.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one other question I'll ask you, because I'm sure somebody will be seeing this and they'll be like, you know what, I live in California, but I saw that you guys are in Arizona. Can you still answer my questions and help me out?
Absolutely. Craig and I are licensed in California, Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin. So we can help in a variety of areas.
Excellent.
And if they're in a location where we aren't licensed, Fairway is a nationwide mortgage banker. So if you have clients or family or friends in other areas, we're happy to refer them to someone who's local in their area, who will be able to give them the best, most reliable, and most valid information for that geographical area. Yeah. We're happy to do that.
For sure.
Okay. Fantastic. I don't think I have any other questions. You guys pretty much nailed it for me.
Well, we're glad. We're so pleased that you invited us to join you today.
Yeah. So what I heard is we're still doing business.
Absolutely.
The transactions are still closing. There's still opportunity for financial savings, because there's the refinance opportunity, even if you're not doing a new purchase.
Right.
The creative financing with the, what do you call it? Home equity conversion mortgage?
Yep. The reverse HECM. Yep.
Okay. The HECM.
Just so you know, we do at Fairway, we have a program where on the HECM, it's a 17-day close. So that is we're going to have multiple offer situations. And if you can get this thing done in 17 days, I know that seller would be very happy with you.
Nice.
Wow.
And then just on traditional forward business. So your first time home buyers, your millennial buyers, we or anyone that's not 62. Fantastic forward mortgages. We have down payment assistance options that are extremely viable right now. So it's still a great time to purchase.
Yeah.
There's no reason to hold back. If you've been thinking about it, jump into it now, because we know that in Arizona, our property values look like they're going to continue to go up.
Yeah,
We want to help as many buyers get in now as we can.
As we can, yeah.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We'll
Have
see
a
you
great
soon.
day.
You
Okay.
too.
Bye-bye.